In this video, we're going to learn how to remove the faceplate in case we need to change out the circuit board for any reason, how to disconnect and reconnect all the different wires. So on the sides of the valve, you have a clip on both sides. Simply pull those apart, and the faceplate comes right off. There's only 3 wires to look at down here. We have our motor, power, and your flow meter. This right here will count all of the gallons of water as it flows through the valve. To unplug them, let's start off with the power button first, then the meter, then the motor. Now that all these are done, we can remove the circuit board. On the top, right here, you see another clip. We're going to lift that up, roll it forward, the circuit board comes off. There's little guide holes here for when reattaching that circuit board. The only thing left will be your motor, which you never have to remove. There's some guide wires here I want to point out on the side. These little hooks to keep the wires out of the way. When putting the circuit board back on, sometimes those can get in the way. So just be sure you put those back together. Now we're going to take off the back of the faceplate. There's 2 more clips up here. Disconnect your wires through the guide. The entire faceplate now comes off. Let's review how to remove the piston assembly stack, which is all this entire area here. You can either take a flat head screwdriver and wedge inside these top notches to loosen up this entire plate. Or you can use a provided valve wrench. And loosen with this wrench. Once loosened, you can unscrew it with your hand. Now that we have the piston disconnected from the drive cap, let's go over all the parts and components. You have your yellow piston here. When the water's in the service mode, it's going to go over this U-shape. The most wear and tear, if any, will be here since that's where the water is flowing during service. The large area is your backwash position. When this is in backwash, the water will flow through this area. And when your system is in the brine draw, or refill, it will go over the black stem here. If you have any issues with these in the field and have to replace them, they're all connected with the U-shape on the bottom. Just click it out. Same thing with this big part here. Just gotta figure it out where it's connected. There's your U-shape. Everything clicks back together. There you go. If you notice, this is where the motor will be spinning. Watch this piston right here. As the motor turns, this is coming out and all the other components are going inward. That's what's happening at a fast rate when the system is in service or in regeneration. I like to have this all the way in when I'm out in the field doing service. It gives me an easier hold when I'm trying to disconnect this area. The next component in the valve is your seal stack. You can just kind of wiggle this out. Depending on what type of hard water is coming through, it might be a little stuck, but you can wiggle it out. This is all one piece. It doesn't come apart. It's nicely made. When that piston is pushing in, all those O-rings will compress, stopping water on the outside. And these will all control the flow of water depending on where that piston is located inside. Just like that. Let's put it back together. Put your stack inside. Once again, before we insert this, I like to have this out of the way, so spin this as needed to get that out of the way. The direction does not matter. When the system goes back into service, it will reset itself. Now we can start tightening this up a bit with our hand. When it starts to get snug, you can use your valve wrench and finish it up. There are large O-rings in here. There's no reason to Gorilla Tighten it. Just make it snug until you have some resistance. Now we're ready to assemble the back of our faceplate. Because this is inside, that's going to go here and it's going to stay out of the way. You have guides on the bottom. You can line those up here and then clip them into the top. Be sure that our cables are in their guides so that they stay out of the way. Attaching the circuit board, remember you have your guide holes here. They're going to go right in this area. Once that's attached, we can connect our wires. Remember, you have your meter, your power, your motor. Do your power last when reconnecting? So let's go ahead and start up our motor wire. Connect your flow meter wire. And then last will be your power wire. There you go, you saw that piston pull out. The motor turned everything around. Everything is set, ready to go. Add our valve cover with the two clips on the outside. And you're back in service, ready to go. Alright, let's take a look at the back of the valve. There's 4 areas to look at. You have your flow restrictor here. You have your brine line that connects here at the push to fit. Then you have your drain line here that'll screw on with the threads. 4th part is your flow meter. That'll be inside this gadget that we'll open up in a moment. So to get started, let's go ahead and remove our brine line. Red clip comes out. This opens up. Depending on which size system you have, the fitting in here will be changed out or different. If a water system is not running to drain, if you have an issue with the brine line, there could be debris stuck here. Here's your drain line. Same thing, take out the clip. You have a button in here. Once this is on the proper size system, it'll be different colors. Everything will be preset from the factory, ready to go. Once again, if the water system's not running out to drain, you could have debris in here. Your flow restrictor is going to be inside this valve here. We're going to take out our valve piece again. Not using the large size, use the small side. You can loosen this up. So you can untwist it with your hand. Inside, this component is our flow restrictor. If for any reason you need to remove it, you can use the inside lip of the cap. You can pop it out. Different colors for different models. One last part. Your flow meter. You can use your knife or a coin, your long fingernails out in the field, and work that off. There we go. Inside is your flow meter. Be sure this is spinning. If your water system is not counting gallons, not regenerating on time, this could have debris or this may not be seated all the way. If that's not spinning freely, you need to check it. This is what counts the water as it goes through to set up the next regeneration cycle. You pop this all the way in, tighten up the cap. Now let's reassemble. There's an O-ring on here, no reason to tighten it down too much. Snug. One small turn for resistance. Drain line. You'll hear it kind of click in. Brine line with your push to fit. That's everything there's on the back of the valve.